Welcome back. We have another great episode for you today. Welcome to Streetpreneurs Podcast. And today we're going to talk about taxes. We have another entrepreneur for you. This is right here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. He's the CEO of Quick Fast Cash Refund LLC, and his name is Mr. Demetrius Wilson. Welcome to Streetpreneur Podcast, Mr. Wilson.
Thanks for having me here. Really appreciate it. So, again, I'm from Douglasville originally, and I got into this business because earlier this year I was trying to buy a home, and I talked to my tax professional about doing that. But being an entrepreneur, I have depreciable assets that go on my tax returns, and for whatever reason that went in one ear and out the other. So when it came time for me to send in my tax returns to my lender, they told me I didn't qualify for anything because I didn't have any income on the bottom line on my tax returns. So, that put a damper in my business, and I decided that, I wanted to take matters into my own hand and really understand what's going on with the taxes. And so I quickly found somebody who could teach me how to get into the tax business through a franchise opportunity.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your background. What were you doing before taxes?
So before taxes, primarily I was doing real estate investing for about 6 years. Still doing it. I'm licensed as an agent. I'm licensed as a broker here in the state of Georgia. And in that business, if you want to grow, you got to be able to acquire more assets.
Yes.
So acquiring assets requires you to have your paperwork in order, like your tax returns, a credit report, credit score, all that. So for me, it was a challenge because I did my taxes, but I wasn't able to buy anything because of the way my taxes were done by someone who just wasn't an entrepreneur. I talked about it with my broker, and we just came to the conclusion, speculation, that the people who did my taxes just don't understand what it's like to be an entrepreneur.
And so what inspired you to go ahead and branch out on your own and start your own first tax franchise company?
So with this, I have a friend that I met just, networking, of course. And so she told me that she was going to be starting a tax business, and I had told myself that I've been trying to buy a house traditionally for about 5 years.
Okay.
And so I've been unable to do that. So I was like, you know what, next year I'm going to do my own taxes. And that was the beginning of it, to get that education, to do that course, to then get this franchise started. One, helping myself, and then me knowing other people in the industry, helping them as well.
Okay. As far as startup costs of your franchise, can you tell us a little bit about the process that you had to go through as far as acquiring the tax franchise?
Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of people, they might have thought about, buying a franchise, buying into a franchise, what the costs are associated with that. But for me, I would have to say it was very fortunate because I met a woman who she gave us an educational course. It was a class. Okay. And I partnered with her on her business in the franchise. So a lot of times people will see that the franchise is around $1,000 to own a franchise or to start a franchise. However, through this woman, through her generosity, the class to get educated on how to prepare taxes was free. It was no cost. Okay. So the only other cost associated was getting what's called a PTIN number, okay, which is a professional tax preparer number, and that's about $30 to $35 at the IRS. So, at the bottom line, it was like less than $50.
Oh, okay. And how long was the training process?
It was quick. It was 1 day.
1 day?
1 day.
Are you serious?
Well, serious. Like people like in my family have, multiple children, 4 or 5 kids.
Right. So you basically started off doing taxes for family members and friends and other associates.
Absolutely.
Right.
So absolutely.
So what was the initial process to go about growing your clientele base?
So
from a marketing standpoint?
From marketing standpoint, it's just word of mouth.
Okay.
Right now it's word of mouth. Just having the right information, having good information, and having good relations with people. Just letting them know that the business is an operation. I can help them with their taxes, and then getting that checklist over to them so they can get their paperwork in order.
Okay. Is there a monthly franchise fee that you have to pay, or any operational costs involved?
No, there's no monthly franchise fee. There's no operational cost. Actually, it's better than free because we have an office provided as well. So
Okay.
there's no like if we need clients and we need to meet them at an office, we don't have to
It's
have that
already-
overhead.
Oh, okay. Okay. In the future, do you plan on getting your own location? Is that something that you thought about, or you looking into doing?
Well, in the future, I could say the door is open. It's definitely open. With a business like this, a service-based business, I would always want to work with people, work with other tax professionals,
Bring
bring in other investors to not only manage the business, to help finance the business and operate the business.
Okay. Can you tell us about what are some of the new tax deductions for 2022?
Yeah, absolutely. So for 2022, it's going to be different from when it was last year in 2021,
Right.
because a lot of people who were pull this up here.
Because that's very important. I mean, like I said, I know new tax laws change every year, so and we definitely need to be made, aware of the new changes, so we won't be caught out there just, things that we could have written off, we didn't of course we didn't write off. So just kind of fill us in on what we need to be aware of as far as new changes.
So a lot of people last year were getting the COVID credits.
Yes.
So the COVID credits are not going to be coming back this year, or at least the IRS has brought them down.
Okay.
So
when you say brought them down, what do you mean?
Like reduce the amount of the money.
Because I can't remember what it was last year, the total amount.
People were getting big refunds, like $20,000, $30,000 in refunds because of the COVID credit.
Right.
So they took that away, or they did away with that. They also brought down the earned income tax credit. So it was $1,500.
Okay.
But this year they decreased it by about $500.
Oh, okay.
Also, the stimulus checks that the government was giving out.
Yeah, everybody received the stimulus check.
Yeah, the stimulus. A lot of people got 2 or 3 stimulus checks.
Ooh.
So if you haven't claimed it by now, they've done away with the stimulus checks. And
so they won't be coming back, huh? I know a lot of people still would like to receive one this year.
Absolutely, it was a big.
I know it helped a lot of people.
Yeah, it was.
Some people took over advantage of it for their own personal gain, but that's another story.
Yeah, and we see that, but of course, with the business, we always want to make sure we're doing good business.
Yes.
Because it might not be this year, but when everyone's doing their taxes, January, February, March, April, that's the busy season for tax season.
Oh yes, no doubt.
The IRS is not gonna come look or check for you during the busy season. They're gonna wait once everyone has finished putting all their paperwork in, to like October, November, December.
Okay.
So it's just good to be aware of that, because what we're doing taxes for the year 2022 for the work year we have just finished, not for 2021. 2021 was last year.
Last year. Right.
So going into 2023 is 2022 taxes.
Okay. Have you faced any challenges with this business so far? What has been some roadblocks that you kind of ran into that you had to overcome in starting your tax franchise business?
Well, just getting the information.
Okay.
Not a lot of people are doing tax classes or just having those courses.
Right.
So even this course, it wasn't very public. It wasn't like advertised heavily.
Right.
I knew through a friend, through an associate, that the course was available.
Okay.
So that was a challenge, just getting the knowledge, because I knew I wanted to do this, but I didn't know where to go.
Right.
So for all the other people who are interested, they now know where to go.
Okay.
And they can contact.
And where would they go?
They can contact me.
And then you would lead them to the process of getting in contact with the right people to, if they're interested in opening a franchise or working with you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay. What are some of the benefits of having a home-based business?
Well,
home-based tax business, let me say.
Well, it's great, actually. It's really great because I like to look at it like, okay, what's the drawback of not having it? And then the benefits of having it. So as an entrepreneur, we don't get a W-2. We don't get a 1099, maybe. And we pretty much just get paid cash in hand, or like when a check clears, at our bank or at the attorney's office.
Right.
So we don't necessarily pay taxes unless we choose to pay taxes. Like, no one's deducting it out of our check. Right. So one of the benefits of having a home-based tax business is that I understand what the IRS really wants. So prior to this, it was a lot of fear. A lot of entrepreneurs I know who, they get money. They're out here getting money every day.
Yes.
And, lots of money, large sums of money, 100,000, six figures, multiple six figures. Right. But they're scared of doing their taxes because they don't want to pay all that money. Yeah. They don't want to have a large tax bill, pay that to the IRS.
That's true.
And at a certain point, that it's a drawback because now you can't get loan. You can't get loan dollars. You can get, money, but you can't get loan dollars because you don't have any tax returns. So you can't leverage your money to buy those big assets like commercial buildings, houses, cars, all that type of stuff. Right. So having a home-based tax business, I see what the IRS wants. I see what it needs to look like on paperwork for it to be acceptable for them, and really for it to be acceptable to us as entrepreneurs. Okay. The different tax deductions, the different tax credits, the deductions for traveling expenses, marketing expenses, advertising expenses, how that affects it, the amount of money that I need to necessarily make as an entrepreneur. Having a home-based tax business has taught me that having a business is a great thing in America to get ahead and to build wealth. However, if you just have a business and you only have either like an LLC or
S corp
or S corp, C corp,
sole proprietor,
right? At a certain point, you're gonna want to buy a house or you're gonna want to buy assets.
Yes. But
you haven't done your taxes because no one is checking. And of course, as an entrepreneur, if no one's gonna check me, I'm gonna just keep on going on. Right. So having this home-based business has helped me understand that I need to put myself, and I'm putting myself as a W-2 employee under my business so that I get the benefits of being an employee or getting paid a W-2 and the benefits of having my own business. And our clients, we recommend, even if you're a W-2 employee and you only have one main source of income, we try to help you find that other source of income, whether it's babysitting or whether you have a business doing like barbering, and getting that set up so you do have that Schedule C in place so you can have those deductions if need be.
Okay. And what can clients expect to pay when they come in to file their taxes? What is your filing fee?
So with us,
yes,
we do a cash advance up to $9,000, and we don't have any upfront fees.
Okay.
So depending upon whatever your tax return is, if you happen to have a tax return,
yes,
or a tax refund, excuse me, depending on what your tax refund is, it's very nominal. It's very small. It's something you probably wouldn't notice or would be very fair to pay.
Yeah.
It would be something that you feel like, okay, I'm getting a very good deal doing this.
Right.
But it's definitely, there's a limit that the IRS says how much we can charge per person.
Right.
But just based off of, what we're helping them with, the different credits, the LLCs or the S Corp, just the W-2, it's just very fair.
Okay. Do they still have rapid refund and things of that nature where you can get your money the same day? I mean, the same week or next day?
Yeah, we do.
Can you tell us a little bit about?
So that's the rapid refund is the cash advance. It's done through the bank.
Yes.
So the bank decides, how much money you can get, how quickly you can get it, and if you can get that money. But 9 times out of 10, it can either be on a card or like a check.
A check. Okay. Where do you see the tax business going in the future as far as, for your personal life is concerned? What are some of your future goals for this particular company?
Just for this company, I feel it really being one of those added benefits, those added services that a lot of people can use through a lot of different services that I offer. So again, the tax season is January, February, March, April. That's the busy season. Most people are doing their taxes then. Right. However, you can do your taxes all year long.
All year long.
So if you guys are watching this and you think, you can't do your taxes because it's December or September or July, go ahead and do your taxes.
Yeah. IRS ain't turning no money away, so I'm sure. And what about those people who have tax returns and they haven't received them? Like you said, they haven't claimed them. So what is the process of going through the check? And if you feel that, you have some money owed or you have a check owed to you by the IRS and you don't know how to go about finding it or getting in contact with them, kind of walk us through what that process would kind of be like.
So just reach out to us, and we have a hotline that we call to the IRS to find out like if you do owe the IRS money.
Okay.
And if you think you do, go ahead and just knock it down. One thing about being an entrepreneur is you just got to accept responsibility for the bill, and then get the benefits of it, of having be able to get hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars of loans with the money that, you can get financed through because you have your taxes. So we usually just recommend a payment plan or something like that to help you get caught up with the IRS. Same thing, if you have child support, just go ahead, male or female, because women out here are paying child support and men are definitely paying child support. Just go ahead and just pay it.
Do they garnish a certain amount or do they take your entire tax return? Or it just depends on how much you owe?
Absolutely.
From previous
years. It definitely does depend. So if you,
Because I know some guys don't want to even go near the tax office if they're in the rear. I'm just speaking from that point of view.
Absolutely, and that.
But they can have the option to do what? If they're caught up, then they should get on a payment plan or just
get on a payment plan. The IRS is not trying
instead of trying to dodge them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're not going to come looking for you, but
right.
For you as your own self,
right,
your own person, it's like, okay, you're trying to grow in every way you can. Right. Something like my grandpa told me. It's like, sometimes you just got to pay your way out of certain things. You just got to buy your way out of certain problems.
True.
This might be one of them for you.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Is there anything else you would like to touch on, or you would like the general public to know about your company, or how they can get in contact with you, or?
Yeah. So we don't just work with entrepreneurs. We work with, people similar family structures to mine. People who have 4 and 5 different kids. We don't. We definitely work with them, helping them maximize their situation to get those refunds for them, whether it's the tax credits, the earned income tax credits, the child care credits, or the different, what you can claim your children for.
So how much do they receive per child?
So the numbers this year.
What do those numbers look like for this year, for 2022?
So per child, it's between $1,500 to $2,000 this year. Mm-hmm. So in 2021, they had to be their child could be up to 17 for them to qualify. Now it's down to 16 this year.
Right.
In 2022, so the Defendant Care Credit, which is like if you have a babysitter who helps you, that was $8,000 in 2021. This year it's $3,000, and they're also not doing any family credits this year.
Okay. Why not? Why do you think?
I think it just has to do with just like just Biden, being in office, just changing the administration,
Okay.
and then COVID. I think they're removing a lot of those different
Benefits that they were receiving.
benefits
Right.
because of COVID. Is
So how do you think right now we're in the middle of a recession?
mm-hmm.
How do you think the recession is going to play as far as involving taxes?
I think well,
Especially with inflation the way it is right now at an all-time high.
so with W-2 employees, I think for them, go ahead and do your taxes,
Okay.
because it's a lot of uncertainty, and in this climate, people might lose their job, they might lose their home.
Right.
However, if you're able to do your taxes,
Go ahead and file.
you can file, you can get on unemployment, and then you can file your unemployment on your taxes.
Yes, that's true.
Then you can still put yourself in a position, a year or two from now, because
Right.
recession's not going to be forever.
No, it's not going to last. No.
And then still be able to come out of it, and when things start to get better, ride that wave on the upside. But as far as like going into it, definitely, do your taxes. As far as an entrepreneur is concerned, you really want to do your taxes, because with inflation hitting, that's going to increase the value of assets like houses, property,
Right.
stock. Well, not equities at the moment, but like tangible assets. So that means if let's say you make six figures, you qualify for a house that's $400,000 or so.
Okay.
If you buy that house 2 years from now, you're going to get less house, because it's going to be a smaller house, but the price has gone up because it's inflated.
Right.
If you get in now and inflation hits, the house that you bought for $400,000 could be worth $600,000.
600,000.
And your income didn't change. Right. So
that's true.
you definitely want to just keep your paperwork in order.
Right.
I think America, it's doing your taxes is the only incentive we really have to get loans. I said that backwards. Getting loans is the only incentive you have to do taxes, really, for the entrepreneur,
Right.
and it's a pretty big incentive.
Right. Are there any new tax deductions for entrepreneurs, or what can they do to, as far as write-offs are concerned?
Well, with the write-offs, I mean, as having that Schedule C.
I know the cars and transportation, fuel.
Yeah, clothing, transportation, office supplies, fuel, gas, advertising, marketing materials.
So it's pretty much still the same.
Yeah, still got all that.
Right.
And then also, when you come in, we definitely want you to have your paperwork in order. So we have a checklist for the people who, for anybody who wants their taxes done.
Right. What's included in that checklist?
So the checklist consists of, you'll want to have your previous year's tax returns. You got to have your Social Security card.
Okay.
So front and back, for all your, all the family members, all your dependents who you're claiming.
Okay.
And so a tip, if you want to claim your child on your tax returns,
Right.
they got to be residing under your household for 12 months.
Must be living in the residence.
In the residence, yep. Right. So that's just a tip for people out there who want to claim their children.
Right.
Make sure, we have all the data, current date of birth, their current address, any dependents. You got to have your driver's license. And we need your banking info, because a lot of times the refund, it just comes back.
A lot of people don't have direct deposit, things of that nature.
Yeah, direct deposit. So it'll just go into your bank account. Or if you want a card, we can get you a debit card, like a prepaid card.
Prepaid card, yeah.
And so if you're on a W-2, you need to have your W-2s. You need to have your 1099 forms if you're like a salesperson or if you're a contractor.
Okay.
You need your Schedule K-1 forms if you have a S corp or a C corp.
Right.
And then if you have any like alimony that you're receiving, or any SSA forms or any unemployment that you're receiving, we need that documentation too.
Okay.
And not so much that we need it for us, but we need it to benefit you, because we always want to come at this from a service, and we do. We come at this this is a service to the community. We're helping everybody, so to benefit you, we want you to get the best service.
Yes.
And then any other itemized deductions like your mortgage interest, your property taxes, your medical bills, any charitable giving you've done, and any DMV registration. So all those people out there buying those cars on Turo, that's a tax write-off.
Okay. Well, we thank you for having you on the show today, Mr. Demetrius Wilson. And we also want to tell our guests to reach out to him. And can you give him your contact information?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can be reached at my cell phone number, 404-454-1721. The business email is kdwbusiness96@gmail.com. And then we also have walk-ins. So we're located near Greenbrier Mall. It's right across the street, very close. And the address is 2301 Fairburn Road, Suite B. Of course, it's in Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, there you guys have it. So I'm glad you all enjoyed this particular episode, and I hope it was helpful. I hope you'll be able to utilize the information, and definitely contact Mr. Wilson. Give him the name of your tax franchise again.
So we're quick, fast cash refunds.
There you have it. So please visit him, give him a call, inquire about his services, and please subscribe to the channel. And that is Streetpreneur Network. Please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow. Is there any entrepreneurs or small business owners that would like to be a guest on the show? Please reach out to us. Or you can contact me directly at 404-553-6456. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next episode.